Hi there, everyone. What's going on? I'm Aaron, founder and CEO of 28 Games, or head of 28 Games, as I've been calling myself. Started to. It's 5:33 right now, 1,733 hours. How you all doing? I hope you're all doing really, really well. It's been a while since I've put out a video. I just kind of figured that I'd do that, update you on everything that's going on right now. And my mother's working. I'll be picking her up at 7. She's working at the when I say she's working in the forest, that's the second nursing home she works at. She loves it there. She loves the people there. There's someone there named Kevin G, who's in the process of passing right now. He's in hospice, and that's been on heavy on her heart. She's an empath. That's who she is. She just cares a lot about people, and where she's working really is a good fit because my grandmother, Claire, also worked in a nursing home all her life. So, if you've seen recently, unfortunately, I've been suspended from X. There seems to be a ban wave that's going on right now. This is very widespread. It devastated me. I was really disappointed. I tried sending out a few appeals. Basically, got the message saying I was suspended for inauthentic behaviors. So essentially, they think I'm a robot and not controlling my account. Again, this is something that's an ongoing issue. A lot of people have been facing this. So when I put out the appeal, the first message I got was basically your account's gonna won't be restored. The case is closed. Everything like that. But I've done a lot of research on Reddit, and there's many people having this issue right now, and basically that email doesn't matter because people have just been trying appealing, and it's all a matter of luck. Some people have got their accounts back. Some people haven't. Unfortunately, I am one of those people who haven't. That account, it's been with me since 2018. And it's a big part of my journey and everything that I've been doing here, for hashtag Grand Theft Auto 6. My version of it, because I just got sick and tired of waiting for the other one. So I created my own, released it on January 1st, 2025. And that account is very significant. Excuse me. I've done a lot of my growth on there. I've grown up a lot. I've developed a following. I've worked very, very hard to develop that following. I get a lot of close contacts. And there was an account that I had before that when it was still Twitter. Grand Theft Auto 6, GTA 6 Tracks, which is basically meant to be like an insider account to track the status of GTA 6 and everything that was going on. And the funny story is that a gentleman by the name of Matthew Downs linked my account, my account at the time, to an individual, my original contact. To this day, mind you, I still don't know who that is, but Mr. Downs now he linked my account to this other individual, and that's where my whole journey started. As I've said many times, April 2nd, 2018, 5:45 by a then Twitter DM. And that's where that whole thing started. So, this whole suspension thing, I feel like I'm out of the loop right now, because when you're suspended on X Twitter, you don't get your notifications anymore, so I just kind of feel like I'm dark ages. I don't know what's going on. I'm getting news about everything. And now that I'm suspended, I don't get any of that. So it's like, I just feel like, I don't know. I just feel like I'm in the dark ages, and hopefully I do get the account back. That's disappointing. It really is, but they seem to be targeting, it's an algorithm. It's AI, that's doing this. It seems to be targeting accounts with a small followership, that don't have a lot of followers, and that's just not right. It's not right. It's not fair. Being the little guy is very, very tough. To establish a platform and to put yourself out there, as everyone knows. But when you don't have the resources, the financial capacity, the ability, the reach, all of this, when you don't have, when you can't get yourself, basically catched in Google servers easily, unless you're being shadow banned, of course. Like these bigger accounts can, it's just, it can disappoint you, and it's just not right. It's not right. But these band waves are nothing new. I thought I wouldn't get caught up in it, but I did, and it is what it is. So what I'm doing right now, I would be doing these like updates. Basically, I'd be taking all what I call advertising, and it's just taking the hashtag Grand Theft Auto 6, which is the Grand Theft Auto 6 that I released, and saying, okay, this you can do this in Grand Theft Auto 6, you can do that, this, that, and everything else. And I was just kind of going through, requoting, different points of interest, if you would, on X, saying, okay, and following a lot of GTA 6, or what I call misinformation accounts, because it's at the end of the day, that's pretty much what they are. They're strategically designed to be GTA 6 misinformation accounts. But I'd find like this point of interest and say, oh, this you can do this in GTA 6, Grand Theft Auto 6. Oh, have you seen Grand Theft Auto 6? And now I can't do that. And there's a reason, why I'm doing that. It's a clever thing. Same thing as my tagline, which is crazy, ambitious, cleverly historic, which I think is really cool. That's going to be 5 years old since I founded that company. It was back in, lo and behold, September 2021, same month my father died, September 13, 2019, same month, September. And now I was doing good, and then I had like a little writer's block, or just it froze up. But yeah, that account's very, very special to me, and to see it go sucked, because I pinned something on there that says I'm on this big mission. You know how many of you who follow me know the whole money deal, and how I said I'm gonna try to make 1 billion, 2 billion, million, billion, whatever the case may be. And by the way, I just want to say really quickly, that says a lot about someone's determination, someone's ambition, someone's motivation. To be in a crappy situation, to want to just make money in the quickest way possible, knowing that they're FUBAR, which means fuck beyond all repair, and that feel like there's no way out. And I think it can inspire people, because there's drive and ambition to do something like that, to look at a big company and say, okay, I want to help you with your big product, and can you pay me for it? And then to be so hell bent on having that happen, and be so motivated, and just nose to the grindstone, and like it's making it your mission, your life mission, to make this happen. It says something about someone's ambition and their drive and their determination and who they are. And I think it definitely does say that about me. And I gotta tell you, what a difference it is for me being behind the camera than when it was back in 2021 when I started this. When I was very, I was kind of standoffish. I wasn't very confident. So, you do get confidence over the years, and I like to say growth is automatic. And what I mean by that is it just happens. It just happens. One day you can't do something, and then another day you can. And then someone sees that, and they keep the cycle going. So, yeah, I definitely feel more confident doing this, get the used to the sound of my voice and everything like that. But the account, I hope I get it back. I really do. It's kind of devastating, And having said that, many of you know I'm doing AI music. I was doing it on Suno before. That's an AI music generator. That doesn't work anymore. It doesn't work on my phone anymore. So I use something called Brev. And Brev is basically the same thing. You have a prompt, put your idea in, it spits out a song, and the better prompt that you do, the more better of a result you're going to get. And I'm proud of myself, because I'm learning more about music theory, major scale, minor scale, guitar ties. When a note goes for more than one beat, it'll go, the note will be sustained, and then you'll strum on a guitar, for example, you'll let it ring out for a certain amount of beats, and then you'll strum it again, because it's a tie. Because if you look on, you got there's 4 beats in a measure, and for the next measure, you know, it might be start on beat 4, and then it'll be tied. You'll see this line that will go from beat 4 all the way over to beat 3 in the next measure. So what that means is that note is going to ring out for 3 beats, 1, 2, 1, and whatever the tempo is. If it's 120 beats, 1, 2, 3. That rings out 1, 2, 3, and then you strum the guitar again. And I'm learning a lot about that. Like the different keys now, and which is awesome. I wish I could have known more about that when I took my music class. Music appreciation, it was called, intro to guitar. I did have a guitar, but when my car was taken, you could say taken, stolen. It wasn't stolen, but it was taken, on June 30th, 2022. I had a guitar. The guitar was stolen, along with some other stuff. My Nintendo 64, my sister's boots. It's one of the many crazy things I've been through in these past few years. But I did have a guitar. I could play a few chords. I could play A, E, C, and maybe G. So, but it was something. But now, with me doing this AI stuff, and I'm learning more about music theory, and it's really awesome how, you have this algorithm, this model that's trained that, it can create this coherent song with a chord progression and, a different key, and you might have stacked harmonies, you might have, an airy vocal, like a glossy studio finish, sheen studio finish. It's just amazing how this is possible. And for me, I know people, musicians don't necessarily like it because, it feels like it's kind of extreme. They're doing all this hard work, writing these songs, producing them, mastering them, mixing them, mastering them, all that. But for, people like me, it just really helps a lot because it does streamline the process, and I can create this idea in my head. I can take that, put it into a coherent song, and say, wow, this is, this sounds awesome, and it's the next closest thing to making music that I'll get to. I don't have the financial capacity, the financial, finances to, the resources to be able to do that. And a lot of people don't. That's, that's why it's fun to do. And it is fun to do, But I made a lot of songs. Recently I did a song called Voided Trust. It wasn't called Voided Trust, but I chose that because when you do your prompts, you can do a reprompt, as I call it. If you do a song and then use the same prompt, it'll create a different song with a different melody, everything like that, but on Brev AI. But it might use the same title of the song. So when I was doing this particular song, when this song came out, it kept being called something like, Porcelain Trust. And I said, okay, that's kind of a repeat, so I'm going to look in the lyrics, and I'm going to get a title. I'm going to name this song based on the lyrics. So I looked at the lyrics and I said, what would be a good title? And I saw that Voided Trust was in the lyrics, I think in the chorus, and I called it Voided Trust. But that was really cool. That's, that's the recent song that I've done now. I've done a lot of them. Voided Trust was one of them that kind of really stuck out to me because it was just cool how it sounded. And it was in the key of G. And it was just cool how it started off with an acoustic guitar, and then it kind of swelled and went into electric guitar, and you had the crunch, a crunch, and then kind of what kind of a snare was it? I don't know if it was a punchy or fat snare. There's different types, punchy, fat. There's different types of snare sounds you can emit with your snare drum, with your drum kit. But it was just cool how it sounded, and anyway, I redid that, and I kind of used some of the lyrics, little spinning ballerina, crack fit, and those were the original lyrics, So I brought those over into my version of the song. I went little spinning ballerina, crack bass, and then I made it my own. Instead of missing paint, what the AI chose, I said missing soul, and then just made a whole song, and made a couple of versions of that in different keys. One was B flat minor, another one D flat, and there were a couple. A minor, which is kind of depressing, because it's a minor key. So yeah, I did that, and I like doing that. I like doing this. It's cool. And then so I did a remake of that song. I put it out there and see what people thought of it. And yeah, 14, 15, 16, 17 views, and probably because they know my lyrics suck. I mean, I don't know, maybe not. But I think those lyrics are all mine, except for the two lines: "Little spinning ballerina, crack face." That's what the AI chose, and then from there, I chose my own. I put these on my Facebook account, my 28 Games Facebook account, my TikTok account, and YouTube. Used to be Instagram, but I don't have the latest version of the app, so I can't post videos on the website version of it, the mobile version, unfortunately. All right, we're at 16 minutes. I don't want this to go too far. We got making this, these AI track. It's fun. It's fun to do. I'm gonna be doing another one. So we're at 550 right now, 1750, 50 hours. Look at that military time, 750 hours. I've got some. I'm thinking about what song I'm gonna make next. I think it's gonna be like a country song in the key of C called with a bass voice, so deep voice, because you got bass and basso profundo, because you got the different types of voices, male and female. Female, you got soprano, mezzo soprano, contralto. It's also alto, but alto that's not a voice style. And then male, you have baritone, tenor, countertenor, bass, basso profundo, which is really deep, really deep. I think it's Italian. So for the country song, I want to do bass because you hear a lot of country songs with a deep voice. I'm thinking of calling the song "You're a Special Kind of Someone." It's based on the meme. You're a special. Oh no, you're not a special kind of someone. Special kind of stupid. Special kind of stupid. And I think it's going to be like a traditional country song. Not like bro country or anything like that. So that's what I'm going to be doing next. I like doing that. It's fun. And I like to experiment with different things. And it's you'll definitely be seeing more of that. And as far as my little updates now, I do it on my notes app, so that's where I'm going to be updating and saying, this is what I'm doing right now. My mother's doing everything like that. What 28 stuff. What I usually do. So I think that's good for the update. That's where I'm at right now. GTA 6. Not my Grand Theft Auto 6, GTA 6, Rockstar's version.